Terrence Knight was telling me in June that after the Michigan game that you and Butler were the guys who really grabbed hold of the leadership of the team. What can you kind of take me through that a little bit? What you saw and why you felt like you had to step up?
Oh gosh, a long time ago. I think after that practice we had after the Michigan game, that long Sunday practice, it wasn't a normal Sunday practice. There was a lot of talking going on, and me and Jamari really just had to take hold and kind of instead of show our leadership through talking, we had to obviously show it through play and let the younger guys and I think everyone else see how serious we were about that game and what it meant to us, and not showing up in that game the way we wanted to. And after that game we needed to flip a switch, and I think on the defensive side Jamari was the one who really took control of that, and then on the offensive side obviously there's a lot of us, but as a younger guy I really tried to step up and have that be a moment in my kind of career as me taking in the reins and stepping up and just improving in my leadership role in the team.
Hey Tom, students color.
Oh, sure.
Unless that was by design.
Oh, no.
Hey, I want to ask you about your room, the tight end room, and then the development that Carter is going to kind of work outside in. Is he still part of your room, or what's that dynamic like to have so many good, close friends that can do totally different things too?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, we have a deep room, obviously, and with Carter, I think as Coach Rule kind of mentioned before, he's starting out more as a receiver, but I think he's learning the F position a little bit, which is obviously is part of the tight end room because we have the Y and the F. But right now he's starting at receiver, and I think that's going to benefit him a lot, honestly, being able to know all of the receiving positions and all the routes they have and the whole route tree for each position. Knowing that's going to help him be way more successful in a year or less or two. I don't know. Whenever he officially moves it over to tight end, I think that's going to be really beneficial to him. Being the athlete that he is and just having that experience as a receiver first.
You say F is in Frank. F is in Frank. F position.
Yeah, F is in Frank. Yeah.
He came in with a lot of hype. You came in with a lot of hype. I know, it's not your job to coach him, but if you had to tell him some things you wish you would have learned as a freshman sooner, what would those be?
Shoot, honestly, the biggest thing for me, I think, and even without the injuries, this sounds kind of cliche maybe, but just take care of your body. Don't be in a rush to go home. I think that's the biggest thing because it makes a huge difference throughout camp and the season. And then obviously playing with confidence. Don't let one play determine the next. And obviously it's easier said than done, but the faster you can forget, the better you are, moving forward.
Just how big was this off season for you? Another a healthy off season, and just what did you learn from that as you moved to camp?
Just gaining, more confidence as my position and getting better at just little things each and every day. I'm very confident in, obviously the things that I was really good at, coming in here like route running and catching the ball and stuff like that, but just being able to, get in line and be dominant in the trenches, and that's something I really, honestly, I enjoy it a lot, and something I want to continue to get better at because, in the NFL, there's honestly a need for people who can be able to do that. There's a lot of guys who can kind of split out, but being able to do both at a high level is something I want to be really good at.
Do you line up in the F position ever?
Oh yeah, yep. Like 12 personnel, stuff like that.
Oh.
Matt and Sad talked a lot about Dylan's preparation and his work ethic are beyond his years as a freshman. I mean, have you witnessed that as well?
Oh yeah. Shoot, every Saturday, and I'll come in here and he'll be in here doing like stretching, or he'll have his like special little weighted gloves on, doing whatever he does, But no, he's definitely a professional in what he does, and he takes his work and his craft seriously, and it's definitely noticeable. And I'm excited for him.
Thomas, obviously Dylan Raiola, the excitement around him, strong tight end room, second year under Coach Rule. What's your excitement level like going into this year as compared to other years?
I'm extremely excited for us as a team, and then obviously I'm extremely excited just because, as I kind of spoke about a little bit, just my experience level, being able to have that one full year, and then, being able to just build off of that and, get better and better, and having, 2 full healthy off seasons, and continue to have a healthy season through this camp. is going to be beneficial for us as a team and me as a player. And then, having a deep tight end room is obviously extremely helpful because tight end position we kind of do everything. I feel like it's an underrated position in football. Kind of have to know the offensive line, receiving, depending on where you are, fullback, sometimes running back. If you're like Nary Bonner or Wood, as we call him, but I think it's extremely beneficial. I'm excited for this year for sure.
Am I reading into? I might be reading into this, but you did that dunk contest during the basketball season. Was that a statement you were making, like I'm 100% healthy now?
Yeah. I wasn't trying to make it, I guess, but if I'm gonna be completely honest, I could have done that 2 years ago.
Could you?
Oh yeah, for sure, easily. I could have done that after the second surgery, when I was trying to come back and all that stuff was coming out. But that doesn't really matter anymore, I guess. But yeah, no, it wasn't really necessarily a statement, but I guess it shows how much work I put in, and I'm better than I was before.
What kind of a focal point can the tight ends be in the offense?
I think we're going to be a huge focal point, especially in like the red zone, vertical threat over the middle. We have all of us have a lot of athleticism, and we have a big catch radius, and as we always like to say, we're always open, no matter what. So being the quarterback's best friend, especially no matter who's playing, if it's Heinrich, if it's Dylan, if it's Danny, especially the young guys, we're always that's what they say is a tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. So I'm excited for that.
Off topic from offense, Nash over there, who was talking earlier today, you got any good stories on the polar bear?
Oh gosh. I don't really have too many stories, honestly, because we're never really around the defense too much.
Does he play like a polar bear?
Oh, absolutely, he does play like a polar bear. You've seen him wrestle. The kid's a freaking animal. No, I think he's gonna have an extremely dominant year. He's a heck of an athlete, especially at his size, and I think everyone's seen that. Everyone knows the potential that he can have, and he showed it last year, and he's he's just gonna build off of it. So I'm excited for him.
Yeah, seems like a pretty popular guy.
Nash, oh yeah, he's got a great personality. He's probably one of the most humble people on the team, but you put him on the field, he's got a different level of he's not the same person. He's Nash off the field, polar bear on the field. I think you could say that.
You like his commercial?
Oh yeah. Him and Ty's.
Yeah,
it was funny.
Yeah.
Did you know Danny Thielen before he arrived?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so you go back with him a little bit. Everybody was talking about Heinrich because he's the incumbent. Everybody was talking about Dylan because he's the new toy. But why do you think Danny can compete in this race?
Shoot, Danny's turned a lot of heads, even in spring ball. He was balling out. He had him and Nate had a heck of a connection. Like I was just saying, it's a tight end, a young quarterback's best friend, and he was having a heck of a spring ball. And I think honestly, most young guys come in here and things speed up for them. I feel like he came in here and everything stayed the same pace, if not slowed down, just because his level of preparation coming in here before. The amount of work that kid put in throughout the years that I known him was it reminded me a lot of myself, just always in there trying to get better. And he always was working with Coach Tieglin, or always at Warren Academy whenever I was there. Or he'd always hit me up to go throw routes and stuff like that. So the work that he's put in hasn't surprised me at all from how he's done, and he's just going to continue to get better and better, I think.
So you've got chemistry with Danny. It sounds like starting to build up. Everyone, we saw chemistry with Heinrich last year. What did you do anything specific with Dylan this offseason to build up that connection on the field?
Nothing specific, I guess. We were always in the same kind of group in rotations and stuff like that. I would get a lot of reps with him and stuff like that. So we've had a lot of good connections over 7-on-7 and stuff like that when we've gone together, and just done some routes on air, stuff like that on Saturdays, and we've been able to build a strong connection, I feel like, over this summer camp.
Not to emphasize Carter Nelson too much, but what is it that you've seen from him this summer that Rule said he's going to be a factor? Why? What is it about him?
I feel like just his athleticism. Obviously he's a great football player, but being able to have good size and athleticism is, I feel like, a huge factor. And I think that's why he's going to have a big role or a role, this season, this fall camp, and being able to build off that, summer conditioning and football that we would, do on our own and stuff like that, I think he's going to have a good year.
Thomas, what goes into being on that elite list? I saw your name was on there pretty consistently this summer. How does that happen?
Shoot, I think there's some things that I'm not for sure on, but just putting in extra work outside of the stuff that we have to do, keeping up with our body weight goals. So I'm 255, they want me at 260, being able to trend towards that every week or stay the same, not go down. And then just kind of the people, when you're lifting, making sure that you're one of the top lifters within your group, and summer conditioning, when you're running, you're always finishing, first or second, or just always one of those top guys. I feel like, it's no matter what you're doing, you're competing, I feel like, and that was a huge factor. And then obviously, like I kind of said, there's things like grades and just the small things that are off the field that coaches care about. So
Does a setting like that allow some other guys to maybe surprise and step up that maybe you didn't see coming?
Well, absolutely. I guess not necessarily a surprise, but just put themselves on the map, or on the board, so other people can see the amount of work they're putting in. Like Corey Barney and some of the other young cats that have done a good job. That kid, I feel like has proved himself to be a great player, obviously, and then continue to do so on the elite list and kept moving that forward. So
where does the confidence for this team come from this year? I mean, you're still trying to do it on the field. Why is there so much confidence that now can be the year?
Shoot, I think because of the amount of work we put in. My few years of being here, we have never, we never worked this hard, which isn't a bad thing, but also, it's a really good thing, a testament to us and showing how much, we want to be successful in the things and what we're willing to do to be successful. And I feel like that's where our confidence comes from, is just the preparation that we put in and the work we put in to get to where we want to be.
Where does your mind go to first when you think of working hard and doing stuff you haven't done? Is there a drill or a moment or something that you think of first?
Obviously we're all going to, I feel like everyone's going to say mat drills, might be wrong, but that tests it's really not even about your physical ability, it's going to test your mental ability, because it is true, you can do what your body tells you to do, or your mind tells you to do, I guess. There's a lot of guys who had to, I feel like, figure that out. At first they might not have been able to do it, but later on, as we kept on going through the mat drills, they've gotten better and better at it.
Thomas, Cardinal Nelson, kind of a similar recruit to you a year ago. How much have you been able to talk to him and maybe mentor him? Because you were kind of in his same shoes when he first got to Nebraska too.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't been around him a ton, just because of, he's been working more with the receivers. But he's going to be a heck of a player. Obviously, kind of like I said, I haven't been able to spend a ton of time with him. But as he transitions, I'm excited to kind of help him out. And if he when he does have questions, stuff like that, I would be more I would love to help him, mentor him more. But yeah, I haven't been able to a ton. You know what I mean?
What jumps out about his game, though, from what you've seen in 7-on-7? Have you got a good glimpse of him yet?
Yeah, I would say, I kind of said this earlier a little bit, but I would say just his athleticism and his size, stuff like that. Being able to move the way he moves and run routes, stuff like that, at his size, and obviously he has great athletic ability, and just kind of his hands and everything like that. I feel like as he builds off the top of that and add some size, weight, and transitions over, if he whatever his plan is, I'm not 100% sure, but it's just going to make him a better player in the long run.
Thomas, how do you solve the turnover issue?
Last question for Thomas.
I would say obviously just kind of the work we put in. Being able to we do drills every day, every practice, ball security, and stuff like that, and just being able to take that seriously and not take it as like an off period of our practice. Make sure that we take it seriously and it's part of our job. And ball security is everything. 5 points of security. So I feel like that's probably really the best way. Obviously, and throughout practice and stuff like that, make sure we don't have any issues with it, because that'll tell us.
Coach said you had a great summer. Did you have a great summer, football workout wise?
Absolutely. I feel like I had a great summer. I was one of the only players I feel like who was consistently on the elite list every single time, and I feel like that speaks. It shows people how hard I work and everything like that. And I'm just going to let the play speak for itself this season. Obviously, my goals haven't changed, so I'm excited for the season.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. He's got to get one.